it's a build-up and then nothing. Why the hell are there new characters? Where is this series gonna go? I don't understand this series. Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher, the first in, I believe there's a book of four, 4-book series, at least. I believe there's 4 books out now. I don't know if it's gonna be more after that, but we'll see when we get to it. So, T. Kingfisher, I haven't had the best, like, experience with her book so far. So far, it's been a lot of, like, it's a build-up and then nothing. And then nothing. But her books are super short, so I was like, okay, so book 1, if this has a build-up and then just ends, I guess there's a book 2 to maybe pick up the slack. I don't know. Also, this is fantasy and not horror, whatever else that was supposed to be. I honestly don't know. Anyway, so right at the beginning of the book, like page 1, we have Stephen. Stephen is Paladin, but well, his god dies. Just poof. So now Stephen and the other Paladins, as it were, they're kind of aimless. So they had this thing, I'm not completely sure about this whole Paladin thing, but basically, I guess there's sort of like warriors for God? A god? Stephen, 3 years later, apparently, we pick up again. Stephen is just kind of wandering about town when he meets Grace. Yes, Grace. So Grace is, what's the word? She makes perfumes and stuff. She makes scents. There's a word. I probably can't pronounce it right now. Anyway, she is out in, I believe she was in the graveyard, in the cemetery, picking stuff for, you know, scent stuff. Well, I guess she's attacked and Stephen kind of saves her. There's a whole thing. Anyway, that's their first meeting, and they just kind of keep meeting after that. So they keep meeting. At one point, they find a severed head, and they're like, "Don't step on the head." I mean, no, don't step on a random severed head on the street. So apparently, someone's walking around town, severing heads, decapitating people, because, you know, why not? And, well, Grace kind of gets blamed for things at one point. She's very innocent. We get that from the start. She's very innocent. There's no indication that she should be blamed for it, really. It's all circumstantial, but she's blamed for it, because why not? It all ends finding Dandy. So, Dandy? Wow. It all kind of ends after that. I mean, there's this whole, like, investigating, mysterious kind of fantasy aspect of it, and they do have a bit of a romance, and they're trying to figure that one out. They're like, oh, well, so Grace also kind of has a past. She's kind of run away from an abusive husband, so there's so many balls up in the air, because why not have that? But yeah, the book kind of ends after that. And we do get a conclusion to the verdict and all that, but then it ends. So what is book number 2? I don't know. I couldn't tell you from book 1 what this story as a series would be, because also there's that former previous experience with T. Kingfisher books where build up, end. Build up, end. Build up, end. So, are we getting that in these books as well? I don't know. We shall just have to continue reading them. Short, as I said, so we'll see. I don't think my library had book number 4, so we'll see when we get to that one. But for now, this is book number 1. I shall see you when I've read book number 2, which is Paladin something. Don't ask me. I don't know. Book number 2. So, first off, Why the hell are there new characters? So here was me thinking we could just follow a series and just, you know, follow kind of the same characters at least somehow. No. We now follow two new characters. So in this one we have, I want to say it's pronounced Istvan, or something like that. He is the Paladin in this story, and then we have Clara, and she is a nun. Yes, the Paladin and the nun. That's the romance in this story. So Clara is a part of this, I want to say community, but she's a nun in a community. Like, oh, I forget the word, but basically, the nun in this, I guess, convent, all these nuns, they are not just nuns, they are special in a way, as in they are a bit, let's call them magical, fantastical, in that sort of area. You're gonna have to read it to find out. That's the only little spoilery bit I want to give you. Anyway, so we meet Clara, and she's like looking for all her nun friends, which have all been taken away. They've been kidnapped. They've been nun-napped. No, no. Let's not go there. So they've been kidnapped. And basically Clara's just following the trail, and she's hearing a bits and pieces about him everywhere she goes. But along her way, she runs into Istvan? Something, I don't know. Him, the Paladin. When she meets him, he is, well, among friends, let's say, and he is on a different mission altogether. He's not looking for nuns. He eventually starts looking for nuns because he meets up with Kara, but different subject altogether. He's on a different mission. So he's kind of with this band, really? No, he's with these other blokes, and they're on their way delivering stuff. But at the same time, he is. I mean, that's very minor. I'm not sure even that the delivery part was accurate. It was more like it's. What's the word for when you're on a secret mission but you have something else you're calling it? That bit. Yes. Listen, I'm very tired right now. I can't think of things even worse than usual. So there you go. Basically, he's kind of on the same mission that Stephen from the previous book that he started up, which was looking into these headless corpses that, you know, that, what was it name, Stephen and Grace, that they kind of ran into in the previous book, in the first book. Istvan is kind of on the trail looking into this, and eventually it's just like him and Clara, and they are looking for nuns and also looking into these headless corpses things, and they do find out about what was it they called it again. It was like the smooth faces or something like that. It was a bit weird. I still don't really understand that whole part, and I'm wondering how that part is going to play out in books 3 and 4, because it seems to be a very prevalent like plot thing, at least in these two books. So what are 3 and 4 going to be like? Because we kind of find out what it is and what's up with that. Yeah. Like the creator of the situation kind of a deal. So yeah. But book 1 being what it was, and this finishing off, I mean, both book 1 and book 2, they kind of built this up, and then they just sort of end. I don't feel like either Stephen or Grace's story, or and Istvan and Clara's story. Listen, all these names are going to confuse the hell out of me. Anyway, I don't feel like either of those stories actually was complete. It's more like they're going off into like the sunset. No, more like they're going into the fog and we just kind of see them fade away, that kind of deal. So what is book 3 and then book 4 going to give us? Guess I'm gonna have to read it to find out, but yeah, that's book 2. So let's wait for book 3 now, I guess. Well, you'll see it in a second. I'm gonna have to wait because library, I have, never mind. Let's not get into that. Yeah, see you in a bit. Book number 3 of the Saint of Steel's series? Is it a series? Okay, so Paladin's Hope. So after book 2, I did question, where is this series gonna go? Because basically we've solved the issue, the problem, whatever, the crime, something. The mystery, that's the word, the mystery that was in book 1 and 2, it's been solved. So now what? Well, we get a new murder in town. So in this one, we follow Galen. Galen is the paladin of the book. And then we have Piper. And Piper is a lich doctor? Lich doctor? A coroner. A coroner. So, here's the thing though. Piper is a man. Yes. Which, it confused me a lot because Piper to me is a very feminine name. So when a dude comes in and is called Piper, and I'm like, what? I was confused, okay? The name and the gender confused me. However, a lot of the book feels like Piper, the man, was written as a female character to begin with, and I wonder if that's the case and it's somehow been changed along the way, because I got a lot of femininity, as it were, from Piper the man. I don't know. I've never encountered anyone, any man called Piper before. So yeah, I was a bit confused about that. And honestly, it kept coming up. So it was a big thing throughout the book, the very thick book, as you can see. No. Yes, and Piper and Galen, as it were, just as the previous 2 books, this is the love interest. So we get a male love drama thingamajig. I mean, about time. About time. Anyway, so most of this book is basically, it's taken place in what I want to call like a labyrinth of rooms. I'm not sure what to call it, honestly. I don't know if they actually explained what it was called. And if they did, I completely forgot the word of it, of course, because I'm me. Duh. So basically, there are these rooms that are connected to each other, and they are basically murder rooms. Let's call them that. They are murder rooms. More or less. Basically, I think they figure it out later. It's like, well, they do figure out what it is, but it's basically, it was kind of a training simulation kind of a deal. Like, if you could figure out how to survive, you could, I don't know what, something or other. However, they get tricked into going into this, like, labyrinth room thingamajig, by the madman, the murderer in town. So they end up there. So Piper and Galen, and also a gnoll, which I'm not completely sure what kind of a species they are, but also, so there's a 3rd character going about town, going about the rooms, but that's about it. That's honestly about it. Basically, they need to survive and get through all the rooms to get to the end and to take out the madman. The mad scientist. Is he a scientist? He's something. I don't know what he was, but yeah, that's basically this book anyway. Go through the rooms, survive the rooms. Figure out what to do to survive the rooms. Yeah. So here's the thing. Because there's obviously a thing. Here's the thing, though. So, Piper and Galen, they figure out they like each other. I mean, good for them. Nothing wrong with that. But they figure out they like each other and wanna get down and dirty in these murder rooms. Like, is there not a better time? Like, figure out how you're gonna survive and get out of there, and then think about doing the dirty deed. Why do you want to go do that in the murder room? I mean, I get it if you think you're not going to survive, but you don't have these thoughts about not surviving. You're just like, how are we going to go through this? What are we going to do? But you're not like, oh, this is the end. Let's just do it and, you know, go out on the last hurrah kind of a deal. Yeah, basically that. I don't understand this series, like, at all. At all. No, I don't. But there is a fourth book, and please let it be the last one, because I'm honestly done with it, but I want to know what the hell is up. I mean, they're all very... How many pages are there? They're like 250 pages. So it goes by quite fast, but what even is this? What even is this? I don't know. I guess I'm never gonna find out, honestly. Anyway, see you in a bit.
Well, what can I say? Okay, so Paladin's Fate, the fourth book, and I want to say the last book because I do think it's the last book for now, but also I think there might be more. I don't want to read anymore. I really don't. Anyway, so in this one we finally get Marguerite's story. Marguerite, who we met way back when. I forget which book because I will admit it's been a while since I read books 1, 2, and 3. And this is now book 4. What is this? Anyway, we'll finally get her story, and we have the old characters. We have them in the background, running around, doing their thing. Honestly, though, I think this series is not going anywhere. I mean, the first book kind of had its intrigue with the thingamajig, like the mystery that's being solved there, and we run through that in book number 2 as well, because it doesn't end in book 1, it continues on, it's just never ending. But then, book 2, it's finished. So what do we have now? What do we have now? Absolutely bloody nothing. Yeah, this whole series, honestly though, Kingfisher, for me, just kind of builds things up and just falls flat, and then there's no ending. And I'm like, what even? It's this. And why do I continue reading it? I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, book number 4. Yes, happy to see Marguerite finally get her spot in the starlight, stage light. What is the word? Finally getting her spot. Yeah, it's that. But yeah, it's the same kind of deal. It's just being rehashed in a way. We get like cameos from old characters, and we don't really have a story. I don't get this. I don't get this series, like, at all. I don't understand what the big plot line is. I really don't. And I don't understand why people love it so much. I really, really don't. I mean, good for you. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. I tried. I failed, obviously. But there we go. There we go. Them's the cards. I don't know. If I were to sum up the whole thing as a whole, not for me. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't understand the love for it. I don't understand the whole plot, like the massive, like the story series plot line as a whole. I just feel like we're meeting different pairs in the different books and like just having this love relationship of different sorts, and there may be something going on in the back. I don't know. It's just not interesting enough for me, I think. That might be it. That might be it. I don't know. But it's the thing with T. Kingfisher. Every book I've read of hers, she's kind of built up this whole big thing, and I'm like, yes, this sounds very interesting. And then it just falls flat, and then there's no ending. And I'm like, what? What? Yeah, that's basically T. Kingfisher and me. Our relationship that is non-existent. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I shall see you all next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.